I'll start again. Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. My name is Michael Goldman. I'm the alternate director on the Metro Board representing Maryland. With me tonight is Jennifer Ellison, Metro's Chief Board Affairs Officer, and to my left, Aaron Zimmerman, Manager of Transit-Oriented Development and Station Area Planning in the WMATA Office of Real Estate and Development, who will be giving tonight's presentation. Okay. Yes, that's right. This hearing this evening is convened by the Metro Board of Directors to gather public comment on proposed changes to the Twinbrook Metro Station located in the city of Rockville. This is our agenda tonight. We will begin with some background information, then move to describe the proposed transit changes, followed by an overview of the protocol for commenting tonight. We will then hear public comment and discuss the next steps in the process. The general plan and environmental evaluation for this project are available online at these links in the presentation. 2 copies are available in the hallway at the registration table. Notice of this hearing was made by publication in the Washington Post. The hearing notice was also sent to all local governments and other organizations within the Metro Compact Zone, as well as posted on WMATA.com. There are 3 ways to provide comments at this evening's hearings: in person, via Teams, and over the phone. If you're with us in person and would like to provide testimony, please see the staff at the registration table when you came in, if you have not already done so, to put your name on the list of speakers. Those of you participating via telephone, if you'd like to provide testimony, please press *5. This will put you in the speaker's queue. Elected public officials will be allowed 5 minutes, and everyone else will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Extra time will be given for translation if needed. If you have copies of your testimony to distribute, please hand them to staff at the registration table. I'd also like to note that tonight's hearing is being broadcast live via YouTube on the Metro Forward YouTube channel and will be archived there after the hearing concludes. I will now call on Mr. Zimmerman to my left for the staff presentation. Aaron?
Thank you, Board Member Goldman. The purpose of the hearing is to obtain public input on the following changes to the transit facilities on the west side of the Twinbrook Metro Station that will enable joint development and grow ridership. These are the relocation of the bus loop and 3 bus bays, relocation of the kiss and ride facilities, and closure of the surface parking lot. The existing parking garage on the west side and all transit facilities on the east side of the station, including parking, bus bays, and kiss and ride, will not change. Before discussing the changes further, let me give some context for background about how we got to this meeting today. The Twinbrook Metro Station opened in December 1984, and then in 2012, a 418-space parking garage was constructed in anticipation of joint development on the site to allow for eventual removal of surface parking. In January 2021, a developer, Hines, submitted an unsolicited proposal to Metro to acquire a portion of its property along the tracks to be assembled with adjacent private properties for a redevelopment project. In 2022, Metro released the 10-year strategic plan for joint development. It identified Twinbrook West as an opportunity for joint development, which is a program to bring mixed-use transit-oriented development to Metro-owned property adjacent to the station. In July 2024, the Metro Board authorized entering into a joint development agreement with Hines on the 1800 Chapman Avenue site, which is just south of the existing kiss and ride. Plans call for the adjacent light industrial buildings and Metro property behind them to be redeveloped as a 437-unit apartment building with some first floor retail. At that time, the Metro Board also authorized this compact public hearing for the proposed changes to Metro's transit facilities at Twinbrook to accommodate both the 1800 Chapman Avenue project and additional future development. The 1800 Chapman Avenue project was approved by the City of Rockville Planning Commission in February 2025. Regarding the changes to the transit facilities, we'll cover aspects of capacity, access, and site configuration. For the bus facilities, Metro proposes relocating the bus loop and 3 bus bays at a 1-for-1 replacement. The bus loop will encircle the 1800 Chapman Avenue development project. The current entrance opposite Bowick Avenue will be converted into a bus-only exit with a new entrance from Chapman Avenue to the south at the intersection with Thompson Avenue. 3 bus bays will be integrated into the bus loop near the exit. The 2 existing bus stops on the east and west sides of Chapman Avenue, just north of Bowick Avenue, will remain. For the Kiss and Ride, Metro proposes closing the west side Kiss and Ride lot and relocating pickup drop-off activity on street in the parking lanes along Chapman Avenue. In the space where the existing Kiss and Ride is located, a pedestrian plaza with open space will be constructed and stormwater facility relocated beneath it. Shifting to curbside pickup drop-off is consistent with Metro's approach in more urban settings with lighter used Kiss and Rides. In fact, most of Metro's 98 rail stations have some form of curbside pickup drop-off. This change will reduce the number of pickup drop-off spaces from 14 to between 5 and 10 spaces to accommodate projected peak demand in 2040. Metro and the future developer will coordinate with the City of Rockville throughout the development process to determine the exact number of pickup drop-off spaces that can fit within the parking lanes, depending on how the design progresses. Note that the existing Kiss and Ride on the opposite side of the station, on the east side, has 42 spaces and will remain fully operational. Based on recent observations, the east side Kiss and Ride is rarely half full during peak times. The west side surface parking lot will be permanently closed. Metro intends to issue a joint development solicitation and select a developer to construct a building in the location of the existing Kiss Park and Ride. I'll discuss parking more on the next slide. The existing surface lot proposed to close currently has 164 spaces. The lot is often 100% full or near it during periods of peak demand during the work week. Once closed, Metro anticipates that demand will shift over to the existing 7-story, 418 space parking garage next to the lot. Today, it rarely has vehicles parked above the 2nd level. Based on data collected by Metro, the peak demand observed for the parking garage between February and June 2025 was only 74 out of those 418 spaces. After accounting for the shifting of 164 commuters from the closed lot, as well as projected increase in rail ridership and associated commuter parking needs at Twinbrook in 2050, Metro anticipates there will still be a surplus of approximately 100 parking spaces in the garage for commuters. Therefore, Metro concludes the adjacent garage can absorb all the existing demand of surface parking lot and accommodate future growth in commuter parking. It is also noted that there is a 474 space surface parking lot on the other side of the Metro station, which is not changing as part of this project. Parking data collected by Metro in spring 2025 indicates that on most days of the week, of the work week, there is 200 or more available parking spaces during peak commuter times. Finally, as part of the compact public hearing, staff has prepared an environmental evaluation for the project to assess permanent or temporary impacts and to identify opportunities to minimize or mitigate them. And the EE is posted on the website. This table here is a summary of that document. This analysis, whether there are impacts to transportation, stormwater, open space, and air quality and noise as a result of the changes to transit facilities. This analysis does not evaluate impacts related to the private development, which are subject to review and approval by the City of Rockville's entitlements and approval process. Regarding transportation, there are minimal permanent impacts. Changes to the location of the bus loop will improve customer safety and have minimal impacts on bus travel times and operations. On-street curbside pickup drop-off spaces will eliminate the need to cross a bus loop. However, some customers may need to cross Chapman Avenue. The west side surface lot will be removed, but there is ample capacity in the adjacent parking garage. During the reconstruction of the transit facilities and road network, an interim operations plan, sometimes called a maintenance of traffic plan, will be established to ensure access for all travel modes at Twinbrook Metro Station is always provided throughout the project. Then regarding air quality, noise, and stormwater, there are also no permanent impacts anticipated as a result of the transit facility changes. However, there may be some minor temporary impacts during reconstruction of the transit facilities, like dust, equipment noise, or sediment and erosion. These will be mitigated by using typical construction mitigation techniques and following the Montgomery County and City of Rockville requirements. This concludes my presentation on the project. I'll turn the floor back over to Board Member Goldman to go over the procedures for tonight's hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. That's very complete. A lot to digest there for everybody in the room. Briefly now, I will cover the procedures that we will follow during the hearing. As there are no participants registered through Teams, we will proceed by alternating between comments in person and phone. So far, we have no one who has signed up by phone. For those of you here in person, you can start making your way towards the podium once your name is called. However, if you need a microphone brought to you, please wave your hand when your name is called so we can see you and we'll bring one to you. And those of you participating by telephone, I'll just say it, we don't have anybody in that capacity as yet. If you'd like to provide testimony again, please press *5. This will put you in the speaker's queue. When it's your turn to speak, we'll announce your phone number and you'll receive an automated message that it's your turn to speak. As I said before, elected public officials will be allowed 5 minutes. Everyone else will be allowed 3 minutes. So far, I don't believe we have any public officials signed up to speak. Extra time will be given for translation if necessary. We have a timer. We'll count down how much time you have left to speak. It will give you a warning beep when you have 20 seconds left and will beep continuously when your time is up. We ask that you stay within your allotted time to ensure that we can hear from everyone who wants to provide testimony. One more slide regarding written comments. In addition to the opportunity to speak at this evening's hearing, Metro also welcomes written comments on the proposed changes here at Twinbrook. We will cover these options after everyone has testified. Your comments will become part of the public record that will be reviewed by the full Metro Board of Directors. Changes to the project presented here tonight may be proposed in response to testimony received and subsequent staff analysis. I will note that this public hearing process is unable to address any comments outside the scope of the proposed transit changes. Those include comments on size, mix, or design of the buildings or future joint development projects, land use matters, service complaints, and fares. For those providing testimony that may be watching the hearing on another device, please make sure that device is muted when you're giving your testimony to avoid feedback. I want to take a moment to recognize that this is where we listen to you. This is your opportunity to comment on the proposal, and we are here to listen, so we won't be able to answer questions during your testimony. Before you begin your remarks, please state your name and the organization you represent, if any. Please note that all statements, including any personal information, such as name, email address, your own personal address, or telephone number you provide, are releasable to the public upon request and may be posted on Metro's website without change, including any personal information provided. As for next steps, as previously noted, the public comment period will close on October 27, 2025. Staff anticipates releasing the draft staff report to the Metro website this coming winter. Once the staff report is released to the public, those of you who provided comments will have the opportunity to review the report to ensure that we captured your comments accurately. That review and comment period will close 2 weeks after the draft report is posted on the WMATA website. Staff anticipates that the final staff report will be submitted to the Board of Directors for acceptance in the spring of 2026. Again, I want to thank you for your participation. Now that we have all the background out of the way, it's time to call the first witness. We'll begin with those joining in person until everyone who wants to provide testimony has had the opportunity. Our first speaker from the list is Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill, are you here tonight? All right, we'll move quickly. I guess everybody wants to watch baseball games tonight. All right, Jake Goodman, are you here tonight? All right, Bill Pugh, success. I guess he doesn't want to watch baseball games tonight. Mr. Pugh, you ready to proceed?
Okay, great. Good evening, Board Member Goldman and Metro staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Bill Pugh. I'm the Transportation and Climate Director for the Coalition for Smarter Growth, and I'm speaking on behalf of the organization. Our mission is to advocate for walkable, bikeable, inclusive, and transit-oriented communities as the most sustainable and equitable way for the Washington, D.C. region to grow and provide opportunities for all. We've been working in the region for over 27 years and advocating for transit-oriented development in a world-class public transportation system. We recognize the major positive impact that Metro's Joint Development Program has had on station communities, metro rail ridership, and the region's mobility, land use, and sustainability goals. The Coalition for Smarter Growth supports the proposed changes at the Twinbrook Station that are the subject of docket number 25-02. Repurposing underutilized parking and especially surface parking for housing and supportive commercial uses is a win-win for Metro and for Montgomery County and the city of Rockville. The proposed plans also maintain and enhance station access for all modes. On housing needs, this is a very significant issue in Montgomery County as it is throughout the region. In 2019, the county signed on to COG's housing goals through a resolution that called on the county, and including Rockville, to increase its share of housing built by 10,000 units above the forecast amount of 31,000 households, and to locate 75% of these new housing units in activity centers or near high-capacity transit. The county adopted comprehensive plan Thrive Montgomery also recognizes that need for housing, and this is consistent with that plan as well as the city of Rockville's. And this is also an important component of DMV moves. Is this okay? Is it done?
That's your warning. Is that the warning?
Are you almost done?
I'll just say one more thing, and again, we support the proposal. As I left the station, I noticed a very convenient Capital Bike Share station. My station that I use regularly, it's a long distance, so I urge you, when you do the detailed station site planning, to be sure to put that Capital Bike Share station equally convenient, because it's such a game changer when you need it. So thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Pugh. We gave you a little bit of your predecessor's time since they didn't show. Next speaker is Lori Piashuk. I apologize if I botched your name a little bit.
Oh, that's okay.
Got it? Thank you.
That's fine.
Please.
Good enough. It's always good enough, that name. Hi, thanks for the opportunity to speak my mind here. My husband
Excuse me.
and I, oh, yes? Oh, sure. Oh, here.
Probably,
okay, here. Hello. Okay. My husband and I are bus nerds because we don't have a car and we use the buses here all the time. So we were quite familiar with all the buses that you're speaking of today, the MC DOT buses and the Metro bus, which is the M12. And I know you're not looking for a grievance session here with the better bus, but I will just put a few things in there too. The new travel plaza sounds like a good idea. You're putting a lot of money into this, but I also think that you have to improve the better bus because it's not a better bus at this point. With the M12, they took away our 10 bus. If you want to increase ridership, you have to do that because people are going to just drive to the metro instead of taking the bus. It's unreliable. Sometimes they're actually 45 minutes apart. It's not friendly to disabled or seniors or any Montgomery College students that need to get a scheduled bus. So with that, with the new travel plaza, better and brighter lighting is needed because it's not very good right now. Electronic schedules. When you do construction, it would be nice to have sidewalks. A lot of times, as construction is done in this area, with the pedestrians having to go on the other side of the street when they don't need to be on the other side of the street, and it's not pedestrian friendly when construction happens. That happens all too much around here. The other thing is, I am a senior. I use a senior Metro pass for the bus, and the M12 is supposed to be free, and when I tap it, a lot of times I'm charged $1.10, and I think it's because the DC buses, the fare boxes are not reset to be a free bus for the M12. They come out of DC, and the bus drivers don't even know that that bus is free for seniors, and I don't tap it, so I flash it. I'm told to flash it, and I don't tap it or flash it now. I just walk on the bus like everyone else. I don't pay because I don't want to deal with the bus driver telling me to tap it when I'm going to get charged. More often, that is comfortable. And then I have to call up and say, I need a credit. And it's really like impossible. So that needs to be fixed because come February, seniors are going to have to tap their card, I hear. And I'm not tapping it if I'm going to get charged, number one. Okay, thank you for letting me say that. Because starting February, yeah, that's supposed to be a new thing. No more flashing. So basically, we'd like to see the M12 schedule run better between the Wheaton and Twinbrook Metro because it's not doing very well now. There's no way to the schedule is all messed up. And the next bus on the website is not always right. So, okay, I got.
Thank you.
I get it.
Could
so
you
I
just
think I've got
repeat
everything here.
your name for the record? It might have been missed.
Lori Piastuk.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
we actually take the buses around here all the time, and this sounds good, but things can be better. And since Metro will be looking at this, let it be known to, whoever can do something about any of what I've just said. You got to increase ridership, and it's not going to happen if you don't have good bus schedules.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, the next speaker that signed up is Sarah Pascal. Pascal.
Good evening, Sarah Weissman Pasquale, and I'm here as a private citizen. I have been commuting from the Twinbrook Metro for about 13 years, so I am excited about this. I had a chance to take a look, and the only thing I was hoping that you guys could consider is that the garage park and ride that we currently have, the new garage that's going to absorb the surface lot, is fine, but know that it is a sizable distance away from the entrance, whereas the surface lot is right there. And I think that's probably some of the explanation as to why people prefer it to the garage. So my ask is that when you guys are renewing and upgrading this site, perhaps you consider a covered walkway like you have at Grosvenor between the garage entrance, which by the way is actually the entrance with the elevators is facing away from the station. So if you take the elevators, you go from the opposite side of the parking garage and then have to walk along the entire side of the parking garage before you go all the way down. So my request is that you guys consider some sort of covered walkway, particularly given that that side is where the ADA compliant ramp is. And when it gets cold and icy, it is cold, icy, and slippery. So it would be really great if you guys could work into your design some sort of accommodation to get folks so that we can get from the garage to the tunnel location in a nice and beautiful way, just like Grosvenor has. That would be great. So with that, I think that's all I have for this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Zimmerman was taking copious notes. Next speaker is Lisa Jaron.
Hello, hi, Lisa Jerem. I'm here as a private citizen. I live in Rockville. I use the Twinbrook Station on a regular basis. I did not plan to make remarks tonight, actually, so my remarks are very informal. I'm really here because I do support the project. I do park in that west lot. Honestly, it's very convenient. I like it. However, we do need to have more housing in Rockville and Montgomery County. We need housing that's close to transit. From what I can tell from what you're talking about with the plans, it seems like there'll be plenty of parking, so I could still come and park at the station and use the metro if I want to that way. And I do support instead having some more housing and some mixed use development there. So that's it.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Is there anyone else present in the room who wishes to provide testimony tonight? Please raise your hand if you do. Seeing no hands, thank you. We still don't have anybody on the phone? Okay. So that concludes the public hearing part of tonight's activities. We'll be accepting.
I just have one more thing to say, if you please allow me to. They took our 10 ride-on bus away, right?
Okay.
And we have no MC dot buses where we live now, and which would have been a free bus for the people in the community. Now it's like Metro bus, and they are expected to pay. I don't pay on the M12 because I'm a senior.
Okay.
But I know.
No.
But
I'm
the
saying
thing
to
is, the reason
there's a technical
connecting
problem.
everything is because
God, I want to ask you to
this
put
is
that
all
into.
part of the system.
I want to ask you to put that in written testimony.
I will.
There's a technical
I've
reason
also
why
spoken with
you
customer
can't testify twice, or
Okay, thanks.
I don't understand, but I'm told that's the rule. My apologies. All right, so we'll be accepting written testimony until 5 p.m. on October 27, 2025. Testimony can also be submitted online at WMATA, WMATA.com/Twinbrook hearing, all one word. Testimony can also be sent via the U.S. mail to the Office of Board Affairs, Section 2E, Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. That's Post Office Box 44390, Washington, D.C. 20026. All written testimony as well must be received, not postmarked, but received by 5 p.m. on October 27, 2025. As a reminder, a video recording of this hearing will be posted on YouTube at youtube.com/metroforward if you'd like to visit it to help with developing your own written testimony. Thank you again for participating in tonight's hearing. Have a great evening. Good night.